Now at 6, we have another winter weather advisory in effect for portions of the 4-state area. I'm going to break that down for you.
As temperatures drop, Joplin homeless shelters are more full than usual. We'll look at how they're handling the increase in capacity. And quick thinking and life-saving smarts.
I already know what to do because I'm really smart.
We meet an Oklahoma 7-year-old credited as a hero after saving her family from a house fire.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Plummeting temperatures and a chance for more snowfall are ahead for the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 6. Doug Heddy joins us with our first look at the weather.
Yeah, another cold day for us today, and it's going to get colder as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. We'll drop back into the mid-teens. Winter weather advisories are in effect for our northern counties, and these are going to be the areas that pick up 1 inch or more of snow. I do think most of us will pick up at least a little bit of snow for us tonight, but it's a fairly weak, fast-moving storm system, but clouds are starting to increase across the region. You can see the snow picking up northern parts of Kansas back through northwestern Kansas. All this is going to slide south and east as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Over the next several hours, clouds continue to increase. I do think after 8 or 9 p.m. we'll start to see some light little flurries kind of flying around, but it's not going to be until mainly after midnight that we start seeing light snow. You can see pushing in and then dropping south and east. Here's 2 a.m. Let's go to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but we are going to see a few batches of at least fairly steady light snow. And of course, I'm going to let you guys know how much we could get here in just a bit.
See you then. As temperatures drop, there's concern for the area's homeless population and capacity at local shelters. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky is outside Joplin Souls Harbor with details.
Tonight's low temperatures can be concerning for anyone stuck outside. And while some were worried about capacity, that wasn't the case. We spoke with 2 Joplin shelters about their capacity and how they're dealing with more people seeking shelter right now.
At propane, open flames inside small tents, which is dangerous in itself, but it's that or death, for a lot of people.
Tommy Harris has been homeless in Joplin for about 4 years and explains how difficult it is for those experiencing homelessness in the cold weather.
You just do what you have to do every day,
Local shelters like Souls Harbor and Watered Gardens have become even more full as people seek shelter from the winter weather, but tell us they are still able to house people.
We are seeing a few more people needing to come in than we usually do.
Diana Gurley, executive director at Souls Harbor, says due to more people needing shelter, their regular housing units are full, leaving them to open up their overflow shelter.
And we also have a special place open where we take in more than what is in our house. So I think some confusion comes in where they hear, oh, the house is full, and the house indeed is full. However, with the overflow, we're a little more, we're not so limited in how many we can take in.
At Watered Gardens, it's a similar story.
But more times than not, our shelter gets full. Of course, people are definitely wanting to get out of the cold and off the streets. But beyond that, because when the temperatures do drop below 20, or when the wind chill gets below 20, we do open up a warming center, and that's really open to everyone to come when those temperatures are that low.
At Watered Gardens, they say the requirements change when the weather drops.
Our front doors here at the Outreach Center are just open, and you can come into this front section and get warm.
Both Souls Harbor and Watered Gardens say their overnight shelters will be open tonight due to meeting the temperature requirements. Reporting live in Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
And Bronte, time now for you to get someplace warm. Bronte Sorotsky. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri is connecting area nonprofits with the tools and people they need to serve the community. They've created a Facebook page called Community Resources for Nonprofit Professionals. It's a forum for nonprofits to view job listings, classes, funding opportunities, and more.
On our nonprofit professionals group share digital training, since Omicron variant is becoming very prevalent in our community and things like that, so things are starting to become more restricted again. So a lot of the trainings are going back digitally. So people will share digital conferences and things like that.
You can find a link to the resource page in this story on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Nearly 6 years after a Miami, Oklahoma man stabbed an elderly man and doused him with bleach, He learns his sentence. A judge sentences Brian Waterman to 36 years in prison for attempted murder and aggravated kidnapping. In 2016, Waterman broke into a Baxter Springs, Kansas home, repeatedly stabbed the resident, 78-year-old Bob Hopkins, then poured bleach on him. Hopkins survived the attack. Jurors convicted Waterman this past November. Missouri lawmakers have returned to the Capitol for their annual legislative session. The 2022 session began today and continues through mid-May. The Republican-led legislature's priority will be to agree on new congressional districts based on 2020 census data. Lawmakers have until March 28th to send new maps to GOP Governor Mike Parson. If the governor does not sign new maps by then, judges will take over the process. Republican lawmakers are also trying to rein in COVID-19 vaccine and mask mandates. At 7 years old, Ava Silva from Chautauqua, Oklahoma, is being called a hero for her quick thinking that might have saved her family from a fire. Reporter Ashlyn Brothers has that story.
The Silvas say that the fire started inside the garage. Ava was here in the living room when she heard a noise. She ran out the front door and onto the porch. That's when she saw the flames and ran back inside to wake up her parents.
I really miss our house.
Ava is 7. She just wants her stuff back.
My Alexa, my phone, and my trampoline, my dogs, all of my stuff.
Ava says it keeps coming back to her.
I started hearing crackling.
She was asleep early Sunday morning.
I woke up and I saw the fire through the kitchen. It was reddish, orangish.
Ava ran outside to see what was happening.
I already know what to do because I'm really smart.
She just started screaming, "Mom, there's a fire. I don't know what's going on. There's a fire. Run."
Ava's mom, Joella, says her husband rushed to grab their 5-month-old son, and they all ran across the street as their house burned to the ground.
My husband and I just got married last year, and we were still building everything up.
Joella says the smoke detectors never went off. She believes her daughter is a hero. In fact, Ava was supposed to be staying at a friend's house Saturday night, but felt the urge to come home.
Something just kept telling her I think something was going to be wrong that night, and I think it was probably God.
The Silvas were able to save an outdoor S that hung outside.
I think this is a symbol that all that we have right now is family.
Now Ava says she doesn't know how to feel.
Sad and angry.
Joella is thankful.
Without everybody helping us, we would be homeless.
Quite a little hero there. Again, that was Ashlyn Brothers reporting. Still had a new home thanks to Habitat for Humanity. Actually, 2 new homes. We're going to take you to 2 Habitat for Humanity dedications in Joplin. Well, Habitat for Humanity in Joplin had a busy day. They dedicated this new home on 510 South Gray and this one on Comingo Avenue. We caught up with the new owner of this house, Charlie Thurman, to hear what a new home means to the family.
I would say that he's really excited and happy. We were actually over here a lot during Christmas break, and we played in the yard a lot, and he didn't ever want to leave. So I would think that he's super happy and really excited.
The Joplin Chamber helped cut the ribbon on Thurman's new home. Walmart is playing a role in feeding hungry folks in the Lamar area who might not have money to hit up their stores. The retail giant donates produce to the Good Samaritan Food Pantry in Lamar, Missouri. Produce is available to all Barton County residents.
This program's open to anybody in Barton County. It's not based on income. If somebody finds themselves in a shortage on food or something, anybody from Barton County is welcome to participate in this.
You can find the Good Samaritan Food Pantry at 1301 Perry in Lamar. Later, the Pitt State basketball leading scorer is returning to the court.
Plus, cold temperatures rolling in tonight, even a chance for some light snow. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a cold day for us today. Temperatures only into the mid-30s for afternoon highs, and it looks like we'll continue to see very cold conditions over the next couple days, and then we'll start to moderate things just a little bit by the weekend. But we do have a little bit of light wintry weather, which is going to roll in for us tonight. So a winter weather advisory. This is our northern counties. So Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, over towards Stockton. These are going to be the areas that have the greatest likelihood to get 1 to 2 inches of snow. Still south of this, we're going to get some light snow, but it's not going to pile up to a whole bunch across the region. A lot of clouds thickening up for us now, and you can see a few little tiny flurries starting to pop up, and we'll see some flurries out there as we go through the evening hours. But this snow, really where it's hitting the ground, is right about Manhattan, Kansas, and then stretches along and north of I-70 all the way back in the northwestern parts of Kansas. But this whole batch will start to slide toward us as we go through the evening into the overnight hours. Temperature is cold, so anything that does fall will stick because the pavement is also cold. We're sitting into the mid-20s to near 30, and then lower 30s once you get into our southern counties. Outside right now, 7th and range line looks okay. It's sitting at 30, north winds at about 10, humidity is at 49%. Through the evening hours, some flurries popping up, mainly dry the next few hours, and then we'll get some light snow, especially after midnight. But it's going to be cold tonight, all the way down into low to mid-teens for overnight lows. Let's go ahead and break it down for you. Here's 9:30, light snow flurries starting to pop up. Not much of any accumulation prior to midnight. After midnight, light snow will drop through. So here's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The heaviest of the light snow will be between about 2 and 4 a.m. And then by 5 o'clock in the morning, most of this is going to start to roll off toward the east. And then we look pretty good as we go into the morning hours tomorrow, at least snow-wise. We'll get a little bit of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be cold. It's going to struggle to warm up all day long. I think at best we get into lower 20s. So light snow early, and then mostly cloudy skies, high temp at 24, but a north wind at about 10 to 15. So super cold day on Thursday. Still some clouds sticking around tomorrow night, but thankfully by Friday, it's still going to be cold start into the teens. We'll start to get southerly winds returning, and that's going to help our temperatures warm up a bit as we head toward the weekend. All right, snowfall amounts, again, where that winter weather advisory is, 1 to 2 inches. Most of us, a ½ an inch to 1 inch. But with the temperature so cold, that's still enough to cause some slippery spots during the morning hours, mainly northeastern Oklahoma, really from Independence to about Grand Lake, a dusting to about a ½ an inch. So not a big snow by any means, but it could still cause some issues. Plus, look at our wind chills, right around 0 to -5 by the morning hours, and they really don't climb above 10 during the afternoon. High of only 24. Be careful if you are going to be out on the roadways. It will be a little slick tomorrow morning, and make sure you bundle up with those very low wind chills. We do climb to 40 by Friday, back to 52 by Saturday.
Of course, at these very cold temperatures, the de-icing chemicals become ineffective
Yeah.
on roads, so even a little bit of snow can be treacherous.
That's very true.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Pitt State men get one of their best players back from injury for the final 2 months of the season. And a pair of Pittsburgh high school standouts signed to continue their football careers in college. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
This week is rivalry week for Pitt State and Missouri Southern basketball. The two teams meet on Saturday in Joplin in their first of 2 scheduled meetings. On the men's side, some good news for Pittsburgh State heading into the last 2 months of the season. They're finally getting healthy. Bobby Arthur Williams returned to the floor last week for the first time this season. Arthur Williams was the Gorillas' leading scorer last year. And his first game back, came out hot, posting 24 points and 12 rebounds against Missouri Western. He's hoping to provide a spark for PSU in their final 14 games so they can put themselves in a good position for the postseason conference tournament.
We want to win as much games as we can as possible and to try and push ourselves into that 3 or 4 seed in the MIAA. We think we can do that. We think we have the pieces to do it, and it's just up to us. It just felt good to be out there with my teammates in general first. Running 4 months off is hard work, but it felt good to get my legs loose and get in there.
Pitt State will travel to Southern on Saturday. The women's game begins at 1:30 with the men's game scheduled for 3:30. A pair of Pittsburgh high school seniors signed today to continue their football careers in college, and they're staying on the same team. Rob Hollis and Caden Barber signed this afternoon to play at Coffeyville Community College next season. Now, Hollis did a bit of everything for Pittsburgh this season. He rushed for about 200 yards and 3 scores, playing fullback and tight end. Also had 16 tackles and a forced fumble at defensive tackle. As for Barber, kid is a crazy athlete. He'll play running back at Coffeyville. He actually missed his senior year due to injury, so he's ready for the opportunity to get back out there and prove himself at the next level.
I chose Coffeyville because they gave me an opportunity to play. They did not play my senior year, so I lost a lot of the looks I had, and I felt as if they were a good fit for me, so I decided to go there. It really just means I have to improve myself and just show them what I'm made of, and just show the schools that decided not to offer me and prove them wrong.
Coming from Webb City, where I was playing only tight end, as in Pittsburgh, where I was playing everywhere, it added a lot of confidence in me as a player, where I was doing things that I didn't even know I could do. So that opened up a lot of doors, and I feel like, especially going into the next level, I'll have a lot more confidence just being able to keep up with guys that are bigger and faster.
The Kansas State Wildcats finished up the football season last night, topping LSU in the Texas Bowl 42-20. And Malik Knowles got the Wildcats off to a hot start with 2 receiving touchdowns in the first half. But it was Deuce Vaughn closing the game out. Vaughn scored 3 touchdowns in the second half, scored 4 touchdowns total in the game, setting a new K-State Bowl record.
He's the best player in college football, in my opinion, and he's, for a reason, a consensus first-team All-American. And he's the most humble kid that I've been around, but he's a workhorse, and our players love him, and he loves K-State, and he's big time. And I love the kid, and I love his heart and his resolve, and the fact that he wants the football.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Specialist Eddie Blunk served in the U.S. Army during Operation Iraqi Freedom. His hometown, Pitt, Oklahoma, and we are proud to salute Specialist Eddie Blunk. He's tonight's 4th-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The U.S. Attorney General giving an update on the criminal investigation into the January 6th Capitol riot. Also, a jump in the number of jobs created by private employers last month, a big jump. And guessing a mystery flavor could score you free ice cream for life. Yeah, that alone should be enough reason to tune in to KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The U.S. Navy made history this week with the first woman to lead a nuclear carrier on a deployment. Captain Amy Barnschmidt is the commanding officer of the USS Abraham Lincoln. Thousands of service members who will serve under Barnschmidt's command were deployed from San Diego at Naval Air Station North Island. They'll be part of the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group. The strike group is heading to the Indo-Pacific region with what the Navy calls its most advanced air wing. All right, you should be aware before you head out to school and work tomorrow that the roads could be treacherous and it'll definitely be cold out.
Yeah, it's going to be super cold. Temperatures are going to be into the mid-teens. Wind chill factor is about 0 to -5 early in the morning. We are going to get a little bit of light snow tonight. It's not a huge deal, but with the temperature so cold, it will stick to the roadways, and most of us will get about a ½ an inch, maybe upward to an inch of snow, and it's not going to melt tomorrow as our temperatures struggle to get up into the low to mid-20s.
Final sports notes.
I showed you Caden Barber and Rob Hollis signed today at Pittsburgh High School. You can check out our full story with those 2 guys on the sports page, KOAMNewsNow.com.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's be careful and make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided